Okay, I got my grinder ready. Got my earplugs in. The hitch on this jet slide hooks with this. I use the D-loop. Actually, this is what it comes with, but we're going to run the D-loop, which will do about the same thing. And then I could run this in here and just weld it in place. Actually, I have an idea what I'm going to try. Okay, I found this at the boat launch a couple of years ago after the season was done laying in the mud. I'm going to cut this up. I'm going to use 2 pieces of this, I believe. This will extend my hitch back just a little bit. Then I'll be able to reach and hook this on. I can show you what I'm saying. Right now, where that handle comes back, I would have to be way back here on this trailer for the handle to reach. For me to sit on there, I'm going to have to sit pretty far back. So what I'd like to do is extend this. Right here, if I can draw this back maybe another foot or two, then I'll move the pins, which are right here. The handle will then, when they lower it, the handle sits up a little bit higher. So doing those 2 things, I should be able to move this back a little bit. I'll take some of the weight off there. We'll see how that works. If it doesn't work good, then whatever. I can figure out what I need to do from there. We'll try it out. So, there we go. Figure out just what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to cut these welds off. Nuts out of here, they're in the way. Using this wrench, just getting these bolts out of here. I can't grind with the bolt in the way. Got the wrench angled right to the ground, using that as a wedge. These are pretty rusty, so we're going to do this to this side and the other side. Okay, change of plans. Again, we got that off. We'll cut this end off right here. This is the hitch it came with. I'm going to drill this out a little bit, and I'm going to run the hitch right in and weld this into here and leave it on there, which will actually give me a little more. I'll let the trailer sit up so the trailer isn't tilting down so much. It should work pretty good in there. We're going to do that. Just got to grind this off the rest of the way. The cutoff wheels get a little wore out. I got to get some new ones. Can't quite reach in all the way. I'll see if I can bend this off. That's where it is. Pretty hot yet. Okay, so ground out this hole with the Dremel a little bit because this post does not fit. Ground it just enough so I can thread this through. We're going to thread this all the way in. Once it backs up to here, I'm going to weld it onto the ends and weld around this end, and then it'll never come out. I'll tack weld. This is welded on these ends, but I'm going to weld a bead on this side here. This side here just for added strength. I don't believe it's going to come off. Once that's all the way back, this should be able to weld right up in there just solid like that. And this will be a good solid hitch then. Alright, we've got it all rigged up here. I'm going to weld it right onto there. Should be plenty of support on there. We'll weld the end on. We'll weld that up and right down both sides. We'll tack on the back, and then there's a couple holes on the other side. We'll put a couple dots of weld through and then run a bead along here on the front. Should hold it plenty. Got my welding helmet on, and we're going to do some welding. I don't know how this is going to look on the camera, if it's going to flash out the camera, if it's too bright. I'm not sure how that's going to work, so we will see. Should have enough wire on here. If not, I do have a spare spool of wire. On my ground without trying to move it too much. Turn the welder on, that helps. Sure I got this good and straight. Try not to breathe those fumes in. I just hold my breath a lot. So tough to get a good weld. I mean, I got good spots. Got a few good spot welds. I doubt it's coming off, but I got a piece of little flat stock right here. I'll cut off to the right size. I'm just going to weld this across here. Actually, I can weld it on now, and I better clean this up a little. Let the welder cool down anyways. Duty cycle, it's just a cheap Harbor Freight welder, doesn't have that long of a duty cycle, should let it cool some. I'm thinking right in the middle here, we'll clean this up. Run a leather glove here just in case I slip with this thing. I don't want to grind my fingers with this wire wheel, I won't feel good. And that's why I used the gloves. I took a chunk off my thumb with that one. Alright, we got that. We'll try to tack weld this in place quick. Then I can get it all cut and weld it back up good. cutoff wheel. We're going to grind this on the wire brush. Clean these up. I'm no professional welder, and this is just a cheap Harbor Freight welder. It's just a flux core. There's high and low on there, which is, I don't know what the settings are. I forget. But it's basically, just a cheap welder. But it does work pretty good. Said I'm not a professional welder. It welds good enough to hold for what I use, so it will work. We're going to cut that edge off and give it a good weld up, make it nice and solid. We got that cut. Now I can weld it to the side. We'll flip the trailer over and then I'll weld the rest of it up after that. There we go. We'll weld this up now. Okay, so took some angle iron, I notched it out, stuck it on there. I have an adjustable swivel boat seat that comes up, took off my boat, that I can put on my boat and put on this in the winter. Sits right on there perfect. We're going to tack weld, or not tack weld, we're going to weld those angle irons right to this trailer. Hooks right up to the SNOWDOG just like that. We're going to, right now, I got to turn the heat down a little on this because this is pretty thin. We don't want to burn through, so we'll run this down on minimum heat so we can get a good weld on here. These don't need to have a lot of support, just to hold the seat up, so should be just fine. Tack weld both sides and I'll weld it all up. Okay, we got that welded. We'll put the seat on there. We're just going to tighten this down. There's just a couple wing nuts for the boat seat. Nothing major that holds that in place. Okay, so we got our torque down. Nice thing. This slides off. Take my gear in and out of here. Ice fishing, I can put a bait bucket right here, my trapping gear, my tip ups and all that can slide under there. It is a dump trailer, not that I need to use it for a dump anything, but we're going to get this all fired up and take it for a rip now. Alright, we're going to take it for its first test ride. Take the gate off because it was noisy. We'll see how it works. The weight is right over the axle, it should go good. by the fence. Well, this thing hauls ass. As you can see, I jumped the bank right there and landed. Looks pretty good.
How do you expect me to record this?
This thing hauls ass, has plenty of power. I gotta tighten my seat a little more, maybe put a ratchet strap here to hold it tighter, but all my welds held so far. Okay, my wife's on it. This is her first ride on it, and don't know how she's gonna do with it. It went quite fast, a lot more than I expected. For just being the 7-horse, I think it's gonna work perfect for my uses. Basically ice fishing, hunting, and trapping. Here, you're clear. You can go through the brush. You have to stand up to steer on the sharp corner, or hop off and walk it. Come right over this side and you can walk the sharp corner around. You gotta move while you're steering. The yard is kind of cramped quarters for learning how to drive this thing, but my welds have held so far. And there's Jack dragging his ass. Okay, so there's the SNOWDOG Compact B7ZE. I gotta get a hold of them to see about the handle having that little nick in there and the light being bent, but overall, got the trailer welded up. The jet sled will hook right on there already. This thing should be fun to use this winter, and I'm going to go bomb around the woods with it now. Thanks for watching. Taking the SNOWDOG for a little ride again. Oh, he's getting zapped. You gotta let him go. Okay. Jack doesn't like it. You gotta get him out. He don't want nothing to do. Okay. Shane Cook's right along with just me and the trailer, and Shauna back in the jet sled on dry ground, so on snow I think we'll be just fine.